And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness.
So now, it says, read that part again. Hey, read that again. 28.
The Lord, verse 28, the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
You know what that means to be smitten with madness, blindness? That means us walking around. What's your nationality? African American. What's your nationality?
I'm white.
Mixed. What's your father?
My father's white. My mother's white.
Your father's white. Your mother's black. What's your nationality?
Black.
Black. All right. So we got African American. You got so-called Caucasian, because you are what your father is, and you got black. Now, we're reading about the Israelites. All right. Our people to be smitten with madness and blindness. Calling yourself African American, guess what? Those are two white men. Leo Scipio Africanus and America Vespucci.
Read out.
Came over here and conquered or colonized America. And now we call ourselves after that. Is there a name called Africa or a land called African American? What about a land right here with the Mets? With the Mets shirt. Right here. Pay attention? Is there a landmass called the Land of Black? So read that verse again.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
So madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. Our people have no idea who they are.
Bring it out.
Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3. Our people have no idea. That's exactly why Christ said he came back for the lost tribes of Israel.
That's right.
Why are you lost? Because you have no idea who you are. What happened in slavery, guess what? You lost your identity, you lost your culture. You didn't just lose it like you misplaced it. That thing was taken away from you.
Bring it out.
And another culture was added on to you, was given to you. The culture of how your sister, how your women dress today, the culture of how you dress today, the culture of how you wear your beard, the things that you celebrate, your customs. You understand that? Because Thanksgiving is a celebration, believe it or not. Some people may not know, but Thanksgiving is a celebration of mass murder.
Bring it out.
And our people celebrate that thing like it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Thanksgiving coming on. What you mean? Christmas as well. Christmas, you know what I mean? That's not a God-given holiday. That's a pagan holiday.
Bring it up.
So to be smitten with madness, remember, he said these curses will fall on the Israelites. One of the curses said that you will be astonished, blindness of heart and all of that, meaning you completely forgotten who you are. Read that, and then give me Jeremiah 17:4.
Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner.
Hey, how y'all sisters doing? We're trying to teach our people who they are according to the Bible. Showing them that they're the Israelites according to the Bible.
And the ass his master's crib. Verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner. And the ass his master's crib.
So the Most High is comparing the children of Israel. The Most High is comparing the children of Israel to two stubborn animals. An ass and a what?
An ox.
And an ox. Read it again.
The ox knoweth his owner.
So the ox know of his owner. But our people, we have no idea who our owner is. We don't know that Christ looked like us, according to the Bible. All right? Because you can't find this nowhere in the churches. All right? Read it again.
The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
Our people also don't know where they come from. Again, I asked two so-called black men, where do they come from? Or what's their nationality? You gave me two separate answers, and they're not even land masses. He said black, he said African American. Read that last part again.
And the ass his master's crib.
So an ass, a jackass, a donkey knows where he comes from. But the children of Israel, they have no idea.
Bring it on!
Because our culture, who we truly are, has been taken away from us during slavery.
That's right.
But Israel doth not know.
But you Israelites, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you do not know who you are. And what?
My people doth not consider.
And they don't even consider. They don't even consider who they are. They have completely accepted the destruction of their culture, the destruction of their heritage. They completely accept. We have completely accepted it. We accepted everything about this land.
Bring it up.
Our captivity. Give me Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
What does it mean to discontinue from something?
Thank you.
To cut off.
All right, y'all have a good, check out the flyer. All right, have a good one. To do what?
To cut off.
To be cut off. You hear that? That's an excellent answer. Read it again.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have been discontinued or cut off from their heritage. I'll give you an example. How many of y'all seen Roots? Okay, what happened to Kunta in the movie Roots? At one point. It was one point. Matter of fact, something else that you may have seen, what's his name? Dave Chappelle. He did a comedy skit about it. You ever seen Dave Chappelle show? You ever seen that? Oh man. What about you?
Somebody, Clayton Bixby.
Clayton, no, not Clayton Bixby. Let me go back to Roots. I'm gonna go back to Roots. You seen Roots before? What about you? You seen Roots before? What happened with Kunta and his name?
They took it away from him.
You say he changed it? They forced it, right? How'd they do it? They tied him up and kept what? They kept beating him until what? Till he formed to the name that they wanted him to be called by.
Right.
That's the same thing that happened to us in our mentality. All right, we have laws, statutes, and commandments in this Bible, but guess what? We have completely fell away from them. Why? Read it again.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
So now you're serving because our disobedience, what the also was bringing out earlier, because of our disobedience, now you're serving your enemies in a land that you never even knew.
Yeah.
All right, that's called slavery. That's called, look, here's some examples. A yoke of iron on your neck. This is slavery. Being sold on auction blocks. This is what happened to us. This is what happened to the Israelites.
Right.
This is our history. This is our culture. These are things that happened to us. These are the things that the Most High said will happen to us for our disobedience. All right, go back to Deuteronomy. Go back to Deuteronomy 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So what does that verse mean right there? Let me ask you, what does that verse mean? Was you listening?
I was reading. I'm sorry.
All right, it's all right. What that verse mean? What's that verse mean? All right, we're gonna read it again for y'all. I need y'all to pay attention to what's going on, what's being brought out. Mind you, what we're trying to show y'all is the true nationality of so-called black men and women, Hispanic men and women, and Native American men and women. All right? Because again, y'all just proved to us that the names that y'all going by today, those are, can you find those names in the Bible? Can you find African American? Can you find black in the Bible as a nationality? No, you can't. So what we're trying to show you is who you truly are. So that's why it's very important that y'all listen up. All right? Let's go.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken,
which means if you do not listen to God and what he's bringing out,
unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So all these curses, now what does that mean? I just want to make sure y'all listening. What we just read, what does that mean?
Curses.
All right, curses going to fall on us. Why?
Because we're not following the commandments.
There you go. Y'all got it? Y'all understand? All praises. So also these curses is going to be an identifying mark to realize who you are, because again, we established that we've been discontinued from our heritage. We're discontinued from something. All right. You grow up in a certain custom, right? You're gonna do what when you have kids? Yeah, right. They're gonna follow you, and you're gonna teach them the same things, and so forth and so on. So as that's going on, you forget your true culture, and you start to take on the customs that you were forced to learn. You understand? All right. So that's why that's why the Most High, he left an identifying mark that we can go into the book and we can read it and be like, yo, that fit my people, that fit me. So this thing because it says it shall come to pass, meaning a future prophecy. All right, so let's see if give me verse 46.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee,
The they are the curses. The they should be what?
upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
What does a sign do?
Shows you something.
It shows you something. Exactly. You want it today. You agree with him? You agree with him? Okay, a sign. The curse is going to be upon a certain group of people for what? For a sign?
And for a wonder,
Uh-huh.
and upon thy seed forever.
Thy seed is your children. All right? Just like, you know, if you got a son next to you, be like, that's my seed. You know what I mean? That's your children. So it said the curse is going to be upon your seed forever. So you're going to be able to look at the conditions of your people and equate them with this. Let's get verse 48.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Therefore shall you serve your enemies, not your friends, not your buddies, not your pals, not your compadres, none of that. You're going to serve your enemies. Are we not serving our enemies right now? How are we serving them? We work at all of these establishments. I'm not saying not to have a job, nothing like that. But what I'm saying is our people are the ones that built this kingdom. Off our backs.
Right.
The blood, sweat, and tears come off our people. We built the White House. When this hotel was being built, who was building that? So-called Mexicans, which is part of the 12 tribes of Israel. Someone Issachar. So-called Mexicans. That's our people. All right? So read that part again.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
So the Lord sent them against you for what? For, like you said earlier, our disobedience, our rebelliousness against God's laws. This is a chastisement. This is a punishment for not listening to his laws. But guess what? There was a flip side. We're going to get to it in a second, but there was a flip side. If we was to keep his commandments, guess what? The world was made for you.
Bring it on.
The world was made for you. The world was made for us to rule it. But because we refuse to keep God's laws, now he's like, I'm going to put the other nations above you.
That's right.
You going to be the tail, they going to be the head. Hey, you got to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments.
Yes, sir.
We destined to get it back, but there's something that's required of you. Okay, read on.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things, and he.
Hold on, and he said, you're going to serve your enemies in the want of all things. Let's just see. Who do you got to go to for education?
School.
Right, but who makes up these curriculums? Who mostly owns these buildings? What nationality of people is that?
White people.
She right, that so-called white man. It's not your people. It's not your people. What about if you want religion? If you want to learn religion and you want to be a pastor or a reverend or something, where do you got to go to learn their, what do you call it? Theology.
Cemetery.
Right. So who do you got to go to?
Go to them.
You got to go to them. My point is, I'm reading. The Bible says you're going to have to go to them in the want of all things.
That's right.
So if you want to leave the country, you want to go to another country, what do you have to get first? You have to get a passport. Who do you got to go to?
White people. Yep.
Oh my goodness! I want y'all to equate. This is real life. What we're talking about.
Right.
All right. Read it again. Yeah. And I just, if you want to get married, you got to go to them. If you want to get a business, you got to go to them. If you want a driver's license, you got to go to them. It don't matter what it is. You have to go to them, showing you, proving to you that they are above you. That's right. All right. They are the head and you are the tail.
Bring it out.
Read that verse 43. Bring it out. Verse 43. Then we go.
Verse 43, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
We're seeing that right now. The stranger is above. The stranger means the people that's outside of the children of Israel.
Bring it out.
They are above you very high right now.
And thou shalt come down very low.
And you should come down very low. You go into any of these so-called black communities, Hispanic communities, Native Indian communities, you see the conditions of our people. Our buildings, our houses are boarded up. There's drugs all in our community. There's child molestation, rape, all of these things. And I'm not saying they don't go in other places, but in our community, they running rampant. They running hell. And our people think that that's their culture now. They think that music videos that Cardi B and China Doll and all of them putting out, they think that's their culture.
Right.
Gucci Man, this, that, they think that thing is okay. Ain't nothing okay with that type of music.
Right.
You're destroying your people.
Right.
And they don't even realize that. All they want is that guap. They want that money. That's all they care about.
Right.
They don't care about the effects that they're putting on the children.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's how our people is destroyed. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring our people back to their true culture.
That's right.
To realize that you are royalty. You're supposed to be the gods on this earth.
That's right.
You're supposed to be the true rulers on this earth.
That's
But because of your disobedience, guess where we at? Read that again.
The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
So you want to get a loan, you want to buy a house, you want to start a business, you want a loan. Who you got to go to? You got to go to your enemy. That's who you got to go to.
Right.
That's what the scripture's saying.
Make it up.
He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
And that's the point I was trying to make. He should be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. But guess what? I don't know. I guess he left. But the other brother said the roles is going to reverse. But you have to start to keep the law, statutes, commandments.
Right.
Go to Deuteronomy 28:1. Bring it out.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1.
Yeah.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently.
So this is the other side of that coin. All right? Before it said if you don't listen, all these curses are going to fall on you. Right now he's saying if you do listen, this is what shall befall the children of Israel.
Unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
What's that mean right there?
Sit above all nations.
What's that mean? You don't know what that means?
We showing up? So, I don't know.
That's the point that I'm trying to make. Our people have been so long in these conditions that we don't even know what it means to be above high, above the other nations.
Right.
What does that mean?
I have a comment. I don't know if it means that.
Go ahead, give me what you got.
My comment would be people that I feel like black people, they need to realize who they are.
Is
They
that?
need to realize like, okay, we always say the white man is who we have to go to. Or you need to start realizing where, I'm the shit.
Hey, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Really start to feel yourself.
Hey, guess what? The Bible agrees with you too. Let's get Deuteronomy 7:6. Bring it out.
Bring it out.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6.
Bring it out.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
The thou is you, the Israelites. He said thou is a holy people unto the Lord thy God. When you read in Leviticus chapter 20, verse 26, holy just means to be separate. He says that he severed you from the other nations.
Right.
So we was never supposed to learn their customs, take on their wives, marry them, this, that, and this. We were supposed to never be integrated with them at all.
Bring it out.
The Most High God said he separated you from them. Read on.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
What she said? She said black people should look at themselves as this SH. You know what I mean? Read it again. This is what God said. God said you are the SH.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So she was absolutely correct. Our people need to get their self-esteem back.
That's right.
We have completely lost that thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Back in the 50s and the 60s and the 40s, they'd come up to you, looking at you, calling you boy, you looking down at the ground all docile and soft. Now, guess what? Your women treating you like that.
Bring it out.
Now your women treating you like that. They in your face, they chest bumping you, they running the house, they wearing pants in the house. You have no control over what the kids do. You have no control over how your money's being spent. You have no control over your household at all.
That's right.
The black man has become soft,
Right.
weak, and effeminate.
Bring it out.
It is high time that he wake up out of that thing and realize who he is.
Right.
Realize that he is the SH. That's what we out here trying to teach our people. But our people, we try to teach them that they just walk on by. We trying to tell them this is the way.
Break it out.
Walk ye in it.
Right.
Get that Isaiah chapter 30, verse 20.
Bring it out.
Or you can start at 20. You can start at 21. I mean 20. Start at 20.
Bring it out.
Isaiah chapter 30, verse 20.
Bring it out.
And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity,
we have the bread of adversity. And our communities are completely destroyed. All right, like I mentioned before, we have drugs in our community, prostitution, rape, single parent households. Our education system is garbage. All right, we get the worst books. All of that. We don't even get taught our true history.
Bring it on.
We get taught their history.
Right.
We get taught about Christopher Columbus and all of that. That guy came over here and destroyed the native Indians.
Right.
But we don't get taught about our history. Why we don't get taught about this? Have you ever heard this come before out of the Bible? Like, what about you? Why are we not being taught this? Because they want to keep you. Hold that, give me Psalm, I know, I'm sorry. Hold that, give me Psalms 83.
Bring it out.
I'm gonna show you what their goal is, what their agenda is.
Psalms chapter 83,
Start at 1.
verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God.
Okay.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies. So the Most High God has enemies. His chosen people has enemies.
Bring it out.
It says, thy enemies make a tumult. A tumult is an angry gathering, okay? Thy enemies make a tumult, read on.
And they that hate thee,
And they that hate thee, there's a people out here that hate God, and because he chose you, guess what? They hate you as well.
Bring it out.
That's the reason why they did this stuff to us.
Right.
Not only because of our disobedience, because they hate you because you are the chosen people and they're not.
That's right.
and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. So when you look at these low educations in our neighborhood and all of that stuff, guns in our community, high drugs in our community, how do you think those things got there? That's the other nations bringing that stuff there to do what? Crafty counsel against you, to keep you in sin, to keep you at the bottom, to keep your people destroyed. All right, in a slow state, you know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? All right, read that.
And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
You hear that? It says come. It says come. Let us cut them off from being a nation. That what?
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. The name of Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Have you ever even heard these names before?
Some of them.
Some of you heard it before, but most of our people have no idea what we're talking about. That the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. That's their whole goal. Their whole goal is to make sure that you have no idea who you are.
That's right.
Because if you don't realize who you are, guess what? They get to continue on in their kingdom, or in their heaven, so to speak.
Bring it out.
This is their heaven. Guess what? That means it keeps you in servitude.
Right.
You understand? Where did I have to go? I ain't have to go. Oh, I had to Isaiah 30.
Isaiah chapter 30 verse 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction,
Again, hold on, finish that part.
yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore.
So you hear what that verse saying? That verse is saying, don't fret, Israel. Don't worry about it. Even though you got the worst conditions right now, guess what? You looking right now. Your teachers is out here to give you your true history.
That's right.
The true knowledge of God.
Right.
The true way to get the kingdom of heaven, which means rulership on earth.
Bring it out.
All right, so he said, don't worry. I'm going to send my prophets out there. They're going to come tell you, this is the way, walk ye in it. Read on.
But thine eyes shall see thy teachers.
You're going to see your teachers now. You're not going to be looking at those men that's behind the pulpit trying to take your money. Talking about giving your tithes and this, that, and that. I want a $65 million jet. This
Bring
is
it out.
Right. You catching the bus. You catching the bus to these churches, and they driving around in Rolls Royces, Bentleys. But you're going to see your teachers out here on the street now. We're not asking for your money. The only thing we want you to do is repent.
That's right.
As the Israelites, to realize who you are. Why? So we can get back to our God state.
That's right.
We can get back to the state that we're supposed to be in, the right mindset.
Bring it out.
The mindset that we have now is a Gentile mindset.
That's right.
It's off. We can care less about our brothers and our sisters.
Right.
Long as I'm doing me and I'm good, that's all we worried about.
Really?
We can care less about our people, the growth of our children. And I say that because you can just look in these households and the fathers, bam, bam, thank you, man. And he on to the next one.
Really?
Got this sister pregnant, that sister pregnant, that sister pregnant. Not taking care of none of the kids. That's crazy. That's not loyalty. That's garbage, man.
That's right.
Read it.
Verse 21, and thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, this is the way, walk ye in it.
That's the whole point I wanted to get to. This is the way. A lot of our people, you see them. They just walking by, they can care less. Hey, sis, come over here and holler at us. Come on, brother, come holler at us. Read that part again.
And thine ears shall hear a word behind thee.
The word is the Bible. They should hear the word, but it says behind them. So what does that mean? That means that they're walking away.
Bring it
They
on.
care less
Right.
that they are the children of Israel.
That's right.
They can care less that Christ, the black Messiah that's coming back to get them out of their captivity, looks like them.
Bring it
They
on.
care less that the true Jews look like them.
Teach,
Read on.
Saying, this is the way, walk ye in it.
This is the way to the kingdom of heaven. Walk ye in it.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.